Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Freaky Friday to all you freaks out there. I hope your day and your week are going very well so far. Got a new day, which of course means a new MLB Player Prop video to share with you guys. But first, as always, people, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. It helps the channel grow, and it really does mean a ton to us. With a new day comes a new opportunity to go ahead and make some money. And of course, it is Freaky Friday, which means we have our Freaky Friday 5-leg player prop parlay. The odds are over plus 1,200 for today's parlay. Feeling really good about it. Some really solid picks and some solid data across the board. But first, guys, before we dive into today's video, a quick little recap of how we did it yesterday. We had a 1-2 performance last night, although our Aaron Judge over 1.5 total bases prop was a plus money play. So not a terrible night overall. We are now 5-2 so far this week. Again, not a ton of videos this week so far from me from a baseball perspective. But in the videos we have done, we have a 5-2 prop record. Again, that Aaron Judge plus money play makes last night a little less awful. But that's okay, guys. We got a new day and an opportunity to make some big time cash, and I'm giving you guys another opportunity to make some even more money on top of the parlay. Comment freaky down below, and if this parlay hits, I will pick one lucky commenter to win a free $50 Amazon gift card if the parlay hits. So all you got to do is comment freaky down below, and if we cash this parlay, not only will you win the parlay and win the money for the plus 1,200 parlay, you'll also win a free $50 Amazon gift card, potentially, if I pick you as the lucky commenter. So guys, go and comment freaky down below. Let's not waste any more time. Let's dive into today's picks. Jumping right into the outlier screen, guys, wasting no time. Our first pick of our 5-leg Freaky Friday parlay. We're running it back. You may call it lazy. I call it smart. We're going with Aaron Judge here in the Pirates-Yankees game, 7:05 p.m. first pitch. We're going Aaron Judge over 1.5 total bases. And yes, it's another plus money play. We got it for plus 118 underdog, although we are primarily looking at DraftKings here for this parlay. It's plus 110 right now on DraftKings. But this prop is available on pretty much every sports book for varying odds if you guys want to play as a single. But of course, we are including it here in our 5-leg parlay. The race for 60 home runs continues for Judge. He got a little bit closer last night with another home run last night. Really solid performance from Aaron Judge. This race is heating up. I don't think it's going to slow down at this point. He's cashed this over in each of his last 5 games. He's now cashed the over, in 7 of his last 10 games, a 70% hit rate, average of 3.2 total bases per game. So far in 2024, a 53% hit rate on the over for Judge. 83 out of 157 games this year, he's cashed the over, averaging 2.5 total bases per game. Now, the head-to-head data is not fantastic, but it is a small sample size. He has not played Pittsburgh since last season, where he hit it in one of the 3 games they played the Pirates in last year's series. Taking a look at the insights provided by Outlier, Aaron Judge has exceeded 1.5 bases in 6 straight games at home, an average of 4 bases per game average. So basically like a home run per game, essentially, for Judge. And looking at the matchup stats, it's pretty solid here overall. Judge obviously having a fantastic hitting season, 325 batting average overall. You do see versus right-handed pitchers a slight increase there to 329. His BABIP, again, his numbers across the board, although you do see some slight increases, some slight decreases, they're basically the same numbers overall versus right-handed pitchers. You do see his extra base hit percentage goes from 52.8 down to 51.1. Again, slight decrease. We're not really too concerned about that there. And look at the matchup here versus Jared Jones, the pitcher for the Pirates on the mound tonight. 4.14 ERA overall. You do see a nice jump there to 4.68 versus right-handed batters. The batting average allowed slight increase from 231 to 234. Now, I like that batting average to be a little bit higher, but not bad. And the slugging percentage at 437, not too bad. And the 46.2 extra base hit percentage actually is pretty solid, although that is a decrease from Jared Jones' overall numbers. 46.2 is still really solid. So pretty good matchup. Plus money play. He's been cashing it 5 straight games. We're throwing in the parlay. Get those odds up there. I feel pretty good about this one. All right, guys, our second leg of our 5-leg parlay. We're moving on to the Marlins Blue Jays game. We got a 7:07 p.m. first pitch. They were going George Springer under 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs. It's available minus 145 DraftKings. Again, we're primarily looking at DraftKings, but if you are looking to build this parlay on a different sportsbook, it is available on BetMGM and on Underdog for varying odds. And the data is really good on this one, guys. He's cashed the under in 9 of his last 10 games, an average of 1.2 hits, runs, RBIs per game. Over the last 20 games, 85% hit rate. 17 of his last 20 games, he's cashed the under, averaging 1.25 hits, runs, RBIs per game. So far in 2024, a 71% hit rate on the under. Pretty good numbers there across the board on this Springer prop. 102 out of 143 games this year, he's cashed the under, averaging 1.73 hits, runs, RBIs. This 2.5 lines a little high, which obviously fares well for us. The data seems to be pretty good there across the board. The head-to-head data also pretty solid. He's faced off with the Marlins 3 times again, kind of like the last prop, right? They haven't played since last year, so kind of tough to take what this data really means, but a 67% hit rate versus the Marlins. Take it what you will with that. Like I said, it's been a year since they last played, so I don't know how much you can really take from that, but 67% hit rate overall. The insights provided by Outlier. George Springer has failed to exceed 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs in 9 straight games at home, an average of just 0.9 hits, runs, RBIs per game at home over the last 9 home games. Now, very small sample size versus Adam Oler, the pitcher for the Marlins tonight. Just 2 plate appearances since 2018, although in those 2 plate appearances, no hits for Springer. Springer's batting .219 overall this year. You do see an increase to .228 when facing off with right-handed pitchers, but .228, again, still a pretty low number there, which is obviously is good for us. Look at Adam Oler, 5.06 ERA overall, 2.46 batting average allowed. Now, versus right-handed batters, a decently small sample size, just 83 batters faced this year, but in 83 right-handed batters faced, pretty good numbers. 2.57 ERA, 2.24 batting average allowed, just 0.9 home runs per 9, and a 2.85 OBA. So really good numbers across the board there on the Adam Oler side. And again, I know you see red for Springer there, but 2.28 is still a fairly low number. Overall, really great data on this prop. All right, guys, moving right along. Our third leg of our 5-leg Freaky Friday parlay. We're moving on to the Rays-Red Sox game. 7:10 p.m. first pitch. We're going Wilyer Abreu of the Red Sox over half total base. This is available, again, on multiple sportsbooks for varying odds. We're getting this for -175 on DraftKings for our parlay purposes. And now, despite the -175 odds, we're getting this on DraftKings. The recent data has not been fantastic. You see just 4 of his last 10 games he's cashed the over. There's a 40% hit rate with an average of just 0.7 total bases per game. Even going to the last 20 games, still just a 40% hit rate. 8 of his last 20 games, he's cashed the over, averaging just 0.8 total bases per game. Although, so far in 2024, the numbers have been decent. 53% hit rate this year for Wilyer Abreu. 68 out of 129 games this year, he's cashed the over, averaging 1.41 total bases per game. So pretty solid numbers across the board. And again, it's over half a base. So even if he just hits a single, we cash the over here. That's all we needed from him is a single. And the reason why I think this prop is at the odds it is because of the matchup down below. Now, Wilyer Abreu versus Taj Bradley, the Rays pitcher since 2018. 6 plate appearances, .333 batting average versus him. He's got 2 hits, 6 total bases, and 2 extra base hits against Taj Bradley. Again, smaller sample size, yes, but in that small sample size, Wilyer Abreu has had success hitting off of Taj Bradley. Looking at Abreu so far this year, .256 batting average. Overall, not too bad. .270 batting average, however, though, versus right-handed pitchers like Taj Bradley. So you see actually across the board increases in all of his numbers, including the extra base hit percentage at 51.7% versus right-handed pitchers. That's really, really good. And obviously, he's already gotten 2 extra base hits off of Bradley since 2018. Again, BIP, ISO, you all see increases. Again, not significant increases, but increases nonetheless. And looking at Taj Bradley's numbers, .430 ERA overall, .238 batting average allowed. You do see versus left-handed batters like Wilyer Abreu, you do see that the ERA drops. However, the batting average allowed goes up, the slugging percentage goes up, and the extra base hit percentage goes up. So across the board, a pretty solid matchup there. -175, the odds are a little juiced. I think it probably should be a little bit lower there. But I think the matchup is pretty solid. He's had success hitting off of Bradley. Again, small sample size, yes, but he has had success hitting off of him. Guys, before we finish off the final 2 picks of today's parlay, I do want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Outlier, who all the data you've seen so far in this video and all my player prop videos, they provide. Outlier is the best sports betting tool on the market, guys. And if you want to make smart sports betting choices, you got to have the proper tool by your side. And Outlier is the best that money can buy, hands down. I always tell you guys, even if I wasn't sponsored by them, I would still subscribe to Outlier. I actually did before I even got the sponsorship. Before they started, partnering with us, I used Outlier. So, really solid tool. All the data. I'm only showing you guys a little bit. There's so much more. I mean, I don't even really go into all the pitching stuff. I mean, they've got so much more in here. And I only give you guys a little bit of a taste of what Outlier can provide. But we are giving you guys a special offer using the link down below in the description. We're giving you guys a 7-day free trial to go ahead and check Outlier out for yourself. After that, it's $19.99 a month. But again, if you're making smart sports betting choices, if you're becoming a better sports bettor, which you should be if you're using this tool, it'll basically pay for itself. So again, you try it for 7 days free. You see how you like it. You see how you do with it. If you don't like it, listen, you cancel it. No cost involved at all. But if you do like it, it's just $19.99 a month. You make a couple bets. You hit one bet, really, and you pay for itself. So thank you to Outlier for sponsoring today's video. One more time, use that link down below for a 7-day free trial to check it out for yourself. All right, guys, our fourth leg of our 5-leg Freaky Friday parlay. These are the legs in the parlay now where you see the odds are a little juice like the Wilyer Abreu prop, this prop as well. We're targeting the Rangers-Angels game, 9:38 p.m. first pitch. We're going Reed Detmers here over 4.5 strikeouts. We're getting that for -175 on DraftKings. It is also available on FanDuel for -196. And look, guys, the reason why the odds are juiced on this one is because the data is absolutely fantastic across the board. I don't really have any negatives to share when it comes to this prop. He's cashed this in 7 of his last 10 games, an average of 6 strikeouts per game. Even over the last 20 games, 14 of his last 20 games, a 70% hit rate, averaging 6.15 strikeouts per game. This is a little bit of an alternate line, so that's why you're seeing the data obviously being better, because usually this line would probably be at like 5.5. We're getting it here at 4.5. And even if we go and take a look at the 2024 numbers so far, 63% hit rate on the year, 10 out of 16 games this year for Reed Detmers. He's cashed the over, averaging 6.06 strikeouts per game. And if all of that didn't convince you guys, the head-to-head data also pretty solid. Each of his last 4 meetings versus the Texas Rangers, including, I guess all of them actually are last year. He has not faced off with the Rangers yet this year. But in each of his last 4 meetings with the Texas Rangers, he's cashed the over, averaging 6.75 strikeouts per game, a 100% hit rate. And although this is all last year's data, and I've already mentioned in this video how it's tough to go off of last year's data, I do think the matchup is still really solid. If we go down below here, obviously the insights provided by Outlier. Reed Detmers has exceeded at 5.5 strikeouts, so that's the 5.5 line. We're talking at 4.5. This is 5.5. In 4 of his last 5 games at home, he's averaging 7.2 strikeouts per game over his last 5 home games. So really solid data there. And then looking at the Rangers batting versus left-handed pitchers, overall this year, they are bottom half of the league, 23.6% strikeout rate overall. But in the last 30 games versus left-handed pitchers, it's gotten even worse for the Rangers. They are 27th, bottom 3 in Major League Baseball over the last 30 games with a 29.2% strikeout rate. Really, really low number, so that's obviously very good for us. Their walks per strikeout, 25th in the league. Across the board, really solid, really bad numbers. Solid for us, bad for the Texas Rangers. That's why they're not obviously back in the playoffs this year. So yeah, the matchup's just too good to pass up on, guys. Again, Reed Detmers, 82nd percentile. He has in strikeouts percentage, he has a 26.4% strikeout rate, 92nd percentile in strikeouts per 9 innings. He's averaging 10.6 strikeouts per 9. So across the board, really, really good numbers there for us. ERA really, really high at 6.67. We're not really too worried about ERA here. We're worried about strikeouts, and I think we're going to be due for a cash here. Really solid data across the board. All right, guys, in our 5th and final leg of today's parlay, we're moving on to the Cardinals-Giants game, 10:15 p.m. first pitch. We're going with Miles Mikolas and another strikeout prop here over 3.5 strikeouts. This one available on multiple sports books. We're getting it on DraftKings for -170 odds. Now, the data on this one, not as impressive as the last one. You see, just 4 of his last 10 games, he's actually cashed the over. He's averaging 3.8 strikeouts per game. So far in 2024, just a 48% hit rate, 15 out of 31 games, averaging 3.81 strikeouts per game. So data not as good on this one. The head-to-head data, 50-50. He played the Giants once this year. He had 3 strikeouts and was a 9-4 win for the Cardinals. And then he hit it once last year versus them. He had 6 strikeouts back on April 27th of last season. So overall, data not fantastic on this one, honestly. But the reason why I like this, guys, it's all about the matchup. The data may not be good, the trends may not be good, but it's all about the matchup. Look at the Giants batting versus right-handed pitchers. It is abysmal. They strike out a lot when facing off with right-handed pitchers. You see 23.7% strikeout rate overall. That's 19th in the majors, bottom half of the league. Over the last 30 games, if you believe it or not, it's actually gotten worse for the Giants. 28.3% strikeout rate versus right-handed pitchers over the last 30 games. That's the second worst number in Major League Baseball. Their walks per strikeouts, 29th. Second worst mark in Major League Baseball. Their batting average, bottom 4. OBP, bottom 2. bottom 3. Their OBA, bottom 6. So over the last 30 games, this Giants offense has struggled across the board versus right-handed pitchers. Specifically, though, when looking at strikeouts here, again, 28.3% strikeout rate. All we need for Reed Detmers here is 4. 4 strikeouts is the key number there. Now, obviously, he's only in the 8th percentile, averaging a 17% strikeout rate, excuse me. His strikeouts per 9, 6.4, 4th percentile. Really not that good, but again, I think the matchup's too much to pass up on here. And again, kind of similar to the Wilyer Abreu prop, where the matchup's really good. I don't know why it's juiced as much as it is, to be honest, because the data, recent data, not very good. But I think it's all about the matchup, and obviously the sportsbooks, they understand these things. They look into these things. They look at this matchup, and they're probably understanding that him getting 4 strikeouts is probably a pretty high bet. The implied probability very high on this one. So I'm going to take the chance here. I think the matchup is way too good to pass up on here. So the 5th and final leg of the parlay, we're going Miles Mikolas here over 3.5 strikeouts. All right, guys, so those are all 5 legs of our Freaky Friday 5-leg parlay. Quick little recap here. We got Reed Detmers over 4.5 strikeouts. Wilyer Abreu over half a total base. Aaron Judge over 1.5 total bases. Miles Mikolas over 3.5 strikeouts. And George Springer under 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs. You parlay all 5 of those together, guys, and you get a parlay. Let's go ahead and move it over here to DraftKings. Where are you at? Well, I got to be honest. This is the things that sometimes happen when you're recording live. The parlay should be a 5-leg parlay plus 12.58 odds. However, apparently, since I started recording, DraftKings has taken the Miles Mikolas prop off of the book. So, with that being said, if you can get the 5-leg parlay in with the Mikolas prop, it would be plus 12.58 still. I'm assuming, again, on my phone, it shows that we have it, but here on the website, it's showing that it's not available. If it's not available, you can obviously go ahead and ride with the 4-leg parlay, which DraftKings there is plus 7.59. I don't think any of the other sportsbooks have all 5. I see BetMGM has 4 out of 5, Underdog 3 out of 5. Again, this literally as of 20 minutes ago was a 5-leg parlay plus 12.58 odds. As we were recording, they take the Miles Mikolas prop off of DraftKings. Hang around, see if they have it. If they don't, you can still ride obviously with the 4-leg parlay there. Again, I don't really have an explanation for that. Obviously, the odds were a little higher, so maybe DraftKings they took it off the book. I don't know. But again, so it's not there right now. But if you can get that 5-leg parlay in, obviously wait throughout the day. If Mikolas is available, go ahead and add that on your play. If it's not, you can obviously just ride with the 4-leg parlay, which is still high at plus 7.59. And the context will remain the same regardless, right? If the Mikolas prop doesn't end up getting on the book, we'll just count the 4 legs. If the 4-leg parlay hits, we'll count that. So apologies for that. Like I said, did not see that coming. Just kind of happened. I happened to look at it on the fly real quick and notice that it wasn't no longer there. But it might pop back up. But again, if you doesn't, go ahead and ride with the 4-leg parlay. But all right, guys, that does it for me today. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. One more time, guys, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. This will be the last MLB Player Prop video for the regular season. I do want to go ahead and not go on too much of a spiel, but this is my first year doing MLB. This is not the last video of the year. We will be doing player prop videos throughout the MLB postseason, and I promise I will be way more consistent with those playoff videos. I shouldn't miss any playoff videos, even including Saturdays and Sundays. I'll make sure if there's a playoff game going on that day, you'll get an MLB Player Prop video that day. I'm just kind of wanted to give you guys an apology. I know this year, very inconsistent. Obviously, I was in Greece for a while. Then I had stuff going on. I do apologize. I do my best with what I have to go ahead and make these videos. I love doing them. I really do. It's the reason why I haven't given up. It's the reason why, even though I miss days here and there, and my consistency has been obviously pretty awful. And obviously, I've seen the viewership, right? The viewership has been a little bit down. But do the best I can. I still try to do these videos for you guys because I love doing them. I really do. Been a fun season. Like I said, we're not done. I'm probably should say this for after the postseason, but obviously, this is the last video of the regular season. So just want to say thank you guys for everyone who's watched all regular season long, who's supported, who's subscribed, who's liked, who's commented, all that good stuff. I really do appreciate it. I love doing this stuff for you guys, obviously. Looking forward to the playoffs. Hopefully we'll win a little bit more money come playoff time. We've been on a pretty good run. I mean, all year long, we've been cashing all season long on this show. So, yeah. Done rambling now. Video's gone long enough. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. I will see you back, I believe, on Tuesday is the start of the wild card games. So I'll see you back on Tuesday with another MLB Player Prop video. Until then, guys, I hope you're all winners.